10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God. Guys.
Oh my fucking God.
If you're listening to this, the result is the Tigers have just defeated the Blues 82-69. It is officially 10:18 p.m. on Thursday night. It's got Millsy, Scotty, Will and myself and Bede are here. We are absolutely stunned. What has just happened?
Oh my God.
What has just happened?
Dylan.
At the start of this game, I said this is one of the worst games I've ever seen, and it turned into one of the...
It just, more and more that Dyl spoke, like, everything turned against him. Dyl said at the start, Toby Nankervis, why is he... You never said he was a bad captain. You just sort of questioned...
I was just like, he doesn't scream aura.
Yeah.
Well, tonight he fucking did. He kicked 3.
Oh, I think the whole fucking Richmond Football Club screamed aura tonight.
That
was
amazing.
It's scenes out there. Look at them. There's backflips happening on the field, and there's people losing their minds as fans.
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful, right? Like, as a neutral, there's nothing better than just cheering home an underdog, because you never think they get up, but when they do, it's just this sweet feeling.
It's amazing. Let's try and sort of unpack this game, I suppose. Richmond are just on the screen at the moment, absolutely losing it. Carlton, my God, you know, you wouldn't want to be in that position right now knowing what's coming for them on Monday. But I think let's talk about the game. Let's give out our 3-2-1s and have a bit of a chat.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, I don't know where to start, but
3-2-1s.
We'll do the 3-2-1.
Yeah. Yep. just as I said, we'll do the 3-2-1s.
Let's probably stick to that.
Oh, no. All right, so
let's do it to a team 3-2-1.
Yeah.
Well, who do we think number 3? Do we all?
So
it's out of Miller or
Miller and Nankervis
out of 3 votes.
Yes, but so who gets the 1? Are you giving it to the first gamer?
I'm big on Sam
In
Layla.
law.
You've got other.
I think the 3 and 2 is out of Miller and Nankervis.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll say
Agree with
Nank.
that. He did set the tone early.
He
kept
set it
them
through
alive.
the whole game, and
Yeah.
Ben Miller, like they wouldn't have won that game without him. So
Yeah.
it's a stiff 3, but I'll give it Nank 3, Miller 2, and then 1. You're happy to go?
I like Layla. I think he set up that last goal, and I think all through the night. But I mean, you could.
I like Trainer as well,
Trainer was good.
but I think we got to go Lawler. Can we stop calling him Layla?
Is it Layla?
It's Lawler. It's 100% Lawler.
It's
100% Lawler. I apologise to him and his family. I apologise, but mate, I think Ben Miller's a huge story though tonight. Like, I don't think many people had Ben Miller as a household name, but you might have him now.
Mate, I think I tore shreds off him pretty certain earlier this year because I was flat that a few guys at Richmond didn't get numbers lowered, and I think Ben Miller he was like number 50 or something. I don't know what he was, but they gave him the 12, and I thought, why are they giving this bloke the 12? He hasn't even done anything yet. And tonight, he showed why he had the 12. So I reckon he's just added $500K onto his contract.
Well, I think you noticed through the game, like midway through that last quarter, Harry McCoy was having no impact.
No impact.
And that is because Benny Miller was stopping him. They moved him up into the ruck.
Yeah, also just a shout out to, who was the guy that went off as the sub that was helping Miller down back?
Oh,
Was it like...
yeah, he's got the high number.
Not sure.
number 4,
Blight.
right?
Blight.
Yeah.
So they were like comboing up really well. Blight goes down, and then Miller doesn't just step up for his own position, but then also sort of takes on the second role as well. Like that's probably where he really rose to become a two vote getter.
How's this narrative, like we're watching the Tigers walk off now? I think they'd be lying if they thought they'd even win tonight. Like, I know you always go into every game thinking we're going to win, but the outside narrative of, like, them not even winning a game this year, and they've just beat the Blues in round 1 on Thursday night, is just...
Wow,
it's unbelievable.
The entire narrative was that tonight was going to be an absolute bloodbath. I think nobody's...
People wanted them to move the game because it was going to be boring.
Yeah. And we had two people here saying worst game of the season. One person wanted it the whole tradition scrapped.
Well, and I agree. I reckon, Millsy, that was not good form from you.
Yeah.
I think this is a tradition, and I've never ever said that you should scrap this.
All right. What did we learn from the Tigers? What did we learn?
You go, mate. Sorry, I'm talking.
I think we learned well, no matter how good the opponent, how much it's stacked up against you, like if you keep chipping away, we said at half time, 25 points is not enough for Carlton.
Yeah.
25 points is nowhere near enough.
They wouldn't, even if they won with that, it wasn't a win for them.
No way. And I called it early thinking, geez, Richmond are still quite within a chance here. And then once Sammy Lawler got the ball rolling, Benson Miller down back, Luke Traynor was doing heaps. Ross was just everywhere. And even though they were a bit naive in the last quarter with going in, being the younger side, they're not really sure how to cope in these last 5 minutes. They really gelled together and they deserved that win.
Tell you what, even Camden McIntosh with the old the flying doorknob,
Yeah.
we were taking the piss out of him, but he did a pretty good job on Cooper. Bede, while we're going through what Richmond need to, what we learn about the Tigers, can you have a look, or even Millsy maybe, can you guys have a look at some comments on Carlton's
Social
Facebook
media.
or social media?
Allow,
You wanna
allow
troll
me.
through, Will?
Twitter, what's been happening?
Allow me to.
Just to finish wrapping up
Yeah.
on Richmond, I think what we actually learnt a lot about tonight with Richmond is we learnt a lot of new names.
Yeah, we did. I still have some to
Mate,
learn.
There was a lot of who is this bloke, and he's pretty good,
Yeah,
and that's pretty fun.
I'm
It's
still
exciting.
very confused. Well, yeah, I think the biggest one we learned tonight, and I think you just touched on it, is I think we were worried early doors about that bloody headband that the doorknob was rolling with.
I need a headband.
Yeah.
I want to see I want to see pictures of people in headbands,
I think we all need a headband next
nude
week.
nuts on the top. I kind of, when we get down the gather round, I kind of want to be full nude nut. With a kind of, I want to see Bede, a photo of Bede later with a nice little headband.
Okay.
This ratio. I haven't posted it on Facebook.
Oh
so
my
we've got
God.
183 so far.
Can I read a comment first?
Is
Which,
this on TikTok or?
this is on Twitter, and it's got a photo of a smashed up television.
Oh no.
Just smashed my TV in front of 50 guests at my party because of this crap. My wife just took our crying kids and said they're leaving. As an honest Carlton fan, I admit we are finished and we'll be taking my talents to Collingwood, a more successful club.
Ooh.
See, that's good gear. That's good gear in front of the 50 people strong party.
Now, a few of these words we can't actually say without getting
Just
cancelled.
say 'em.
This-
I probably can't say that. That's starts with an R, and it's really attacking someone's intelligence.
That's not on.
That's it. As a member, I'm Voss out. Like if you agree, and we've got 5 likes on that one. That's it. I'm done. I'm tearing up my membership. I've been a member for 32 years, but no more. I'm moving to a far more dominant team in Collingwood that could never let me down. Goodbye, Carlton. It wasn't nice knowing you.
Oh no.
All right.
Goodness, another game where there is a cracking start, then it fades away and everyone runs around like a headless chook. I don't get it. Individually, there is so much talent, but there is absolutely no cohesion between the players.
Yeah.
Wow,
You know
it's
what's funny is
scary.
when the fans they're trying, the Carlton aren't posting on Facebook,
Yeah.
and they know.
Yeah.
And they're going to old posts and
Yeah.
commenting on it saying, obviously no post from this pathetic club. All Carlton players, hang your heads in shame. Don't go off smiling and hugging the Richmond players. Get off the ground. Bloody poor, pathetic attitude from you all. And then a few Voss comments, yeah.
So good.
Can we take a beat back and talk about this backflip?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
what? Sorry, who is this guy's name again?
I'm pretty sure this is Seth Campbell.
This is
Seth Campbell.
Seth Campbell, yeah.
Is that
Hey.
the best thing you've ever seen on a
Well,
footy field?
we were saying this before. Like, I loved what he did when he kicked the goal and gave nothing, and I was like, oh, he's done the whole no celebration, which is actually a great celebration.
He's done the coldest
Then
celebration.
he did a
yet.
backflip.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's just hit it at all angles.
Can we
Holy
also
fuck.
just talk about he's just sprinted like
Yeah.
like 80 metres to outrun Cowan to then get a foot on the ball.
And he was like metres behind.
10, 15 metres.
Yeah. He gained on him and got in front to kick that.
But there are people cramping up and he just did a backflip.
Yeah.
Nothing's
Did
got
he-
me more
so-
excited about football in a long time.
You know what? He kicked the goal. Did he do anything? I don't really care if he did anything else. He did a backflip and kicked a really important goal.
You could have had one.
You can't drop him after that. I'll tell you that much.
Nah.
What do we learn about the Blues, boys? What do we think? Like,
Mate, well, I think we were talking earlier, pre-pod, or maybe in the start of the pod, that Bede threw up, is this team a top 8 side? I'm starting to worry. You'd be worried.
Yeah.
They are missing Curnow, so they clearly need.
Curnow is a big out, but it's not. It's not.
I mean,
the be-all
they
and end-all.
do seem to have a tendency to just bomb it long, and
Yeah.
that obviously works when you've got Curnow and Mackay. But I worry as Mackay as a full forward by himself. I think he needs Curnow there. I don't know.
That's fair. The
Dyl-
forward line was struggling.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dyl, I'm big on your point where Sam Doherty starting as a sub
Oh, it makes me sick.
is disgusting.
Have I made it on the pod or not? We did on the live stream.
Yeah,
I'm
on the
gonna
live
make it
stream.
again
Yeah,
for the podcast.
make it again for the
When
pod.
I saw Kim as a sub, the first thing that went through my mind going, wow, they must be confident with their team tonight. Because if you've got someone like him on the bench, you could see even when he came on, the level of calm and just intensity and everything that he brings to the game, he should have been on the whole game.
Yeah.
And you had players out there debuting tonight, like Camperali, who they held their own. They were great. Camperali, even like younger players, like Frankie Evans, who was, a SSP, just picked up the other day. I know positionally it's there, but what are you doing not playing Sam Doherty? He's literally, time and time again, he shows he steps up in big games and knows what to do. And you bring him on, and he nearly brings you over the line. Like, there's so many important contests that he actually halved. I'm just shocked by that. Absolutely shocked.
Yeah. And it's so good to see that in a season where I don't think Richmond will be as successful. Look, from what we saw tonight, I could be wrong, but just how much it means to this club that they've already ticked off.
You know what?
One win of the season.
This is, and at the moment we're watching Richmond walk in the rooms, they're obviously ecstatic. This is the only thing I miss about footy.
Yeah.
This part. Like this,
Yeah.
this sing the song and just...
But they would all, no matter how much of a professional you are, they'd be walking into this game thinking, "Gee, we're going to be lucky to win this." You can do as much prep as you can, but you kind of know that your list is in a rebuilding stage. This would be the best moment, singing the song.
Look, did Richmond win or did Carlton lose? I actually think Richmond won and Carlton lost. I know that's the dumbest thing
I
ever.
think it's
Yeah.
Do
correct.
you know what I'm saying? Like, Richmond also played well, but Carlton also lost.
You
Yeah.
could make the call and say that Carlton maybe lost the third quarter, but then Richmond won the fourth to win the game.
That's a good point.
My big thing at halftime when it was a 25-point margin for Carlton leading, I thought Carlton have already lost the game. For the fact that it wasn't sort of dead and buried by then, Carlton had already...
Okay, so what if you just reframe the question? Like, at what point did you actually think Richmond were a chance of winning?
At halftime.
At halftime.
Halftime?
Yeah, when I reckon
So with the
halfway
goal
through
after the
halfway
siren?
through the second,
Yeah.
there was that shift of momentum where they got within 2 goals.
Yeah.
Or maybe 3 goals, and you're like,
Yeah.
shit, if they
Yeah.
kick one here, like, it's 2 goals.
Well, we
Yeah.
said it at halftime. We go, "Gee, they're only 25 points down." Like,
It was...
if they kicked
Yeah.
one, which they did,
Yeah.
off halftime, all of a sudden they're right in it. And I think it was 10 goals. It was like, I don't know. They had like 7 goals, 8 Carlton. So
They didn't kick
they were
straight.
wasteful early.
The only thing that,
Kills you.
we did say this a bit throughout the stream too, but in fairness to Carlton, this is any team, it could have been Richmond, Carlton, anyone, is it's a lot harder, and this is where the good teams are good at putting teams away, when the momentum shifts and that young team wants to come and they're playing, they've got nothing to lose, where if Carlton had everything to lose, and it did shift a little bit in that game, which was really tough. But for those out there who are actually tuning into this, we really appreciate it. We are live streaming every game this year on Thursday night, thanks to our beautiful friends at BWS and also KO for jumping on board, and don't forget Hotel Collingwood that's giving us all the goods tonight to eat our food. So we really, really appreciate it, and yeah, we're excited for a big year, boys.
Gee whiz, if that does not set the tone for Clubby TV, I don't know what will.
Literally. And what actually genuinely helps us more than anything is if you can subscribe to this podcast channel, which is the Clubby Sports podcast channel, which we'll be putting all our live streams through and some other content that holistically sits here, and also our Clubby Sports YouTube channel. We've broken them all out into their own channels now, which is great for all the fans out there. Go and follow as much as you can. So it means a lot. Thanks a lot. And is there anything else?
Go Tigers.
Yellow and black.
Oh, Tigers.
We'll be back here next week for Carlton versus Hawthorn.
Yes.
Now that is I think
That's
it's
now a
gotten
big game.
tasty.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
a bit of a
You know
revenge
what?
game.
Pre-game, I would have said Hawthorn were going to win that in a really close game.
Yep.
Now, even though they lost tonight, I actually think Carlton have more to prove to actually beat Hawthorn next week.
I think
Absolutely.
that's exciting that we've watched Carlton tonight. We get to come back next Thursday, see what kind of reaction. We're kind of getting a storyline at Carlton.
Like
9-2.
And see what happens. Just some quick BWS stats to round out the
9
night.
goals to 2
What's that? Tigers beat 9 goals to Blues. Jesus Christ.
in the second half.
Wow.
Just a stat.
Well, some stats.
BWS, 9 goals to
stats
2.
here for you. Patrick Cripps topped all disposal games with 32 disposals. Tom DeConning was 28 and Cherry was 26. Tim Taranto for Richmond had 30, which is really big for Timmy Taranto. Hasn't had the strongest couple of years. As well as Ross for 28 and Hopper being their third best at 22.
So really, like, low disposal gets. Maybe there's like a good spread from Richmond. Is what did it. Because like Cripps still got a lot of the ball. DeConing, like Chera, like big names of Carlton still did well.
Yeah, that's what they
And you know what? Big congratulations to Adam Uze as well. And would that be his first win, or did he have one last year?
I think he had 1 or 2.
Yeah, he won last year, yeah.
Last
Is
year.
he-
Well, I
is he
reckon, you
sleeping
know what?
tonight?
We had him on the podcast it's coming out in 2 weeks' time. And he sort of said last year was a bit of a... This feels like it's his actual first year. So I'm going to count that as his first win.
Yeah.
And, you know, as much as I'm disappointed in Carlton, I'm very happy for him because he's an absolute incredible operator, which I think a lot of people are going to be shocked. I think some people with the narrative of Richmond would have been like, look, he's going to be there for a while, build him up, and then someone will come in. It's like, well, you know, it's only been one game, but who knows what's going to happen for him.
Is that win better than a flag?
No, I don't think so.
That's it.
I'd take the flag.
That's
I'd
it.
take the flag. But you know what? It's a start of a new...
That's a stepping stone.
It's a start of a new team. Like, it's a whole new team, Richmond.
Yeah.
I reckon some of those, like Boston, for instance, would have been happier and felt more fulfillment and achievement from that after his third.
That's probably a better way to put it, in the fact of, yes, he would have been more like, what the fuck actually happened here, we've won, versus... But I still think he'd rather the flag.
Well, look at the 2 teams that he's played with in those 2 games. One of them's got Dustin Martin in it. Then the other one's got Seth Campbell who's doing backflips. So
Yeah.
I tell you what, one thing that can't be really disappointed in is like their backline. Like
Wiedering was good, but besides that...
besides that, they're still struggling. And
So who was
I
half-back
actually-
tonight? So, because Zach Williams didn't even play
well, he
half-back.
plays forward now because
He's forward. So Sard was their only half-back. Like, why wasn't Doc on the half-back flank?
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You gotta
I'm
put Doc
rattled.
in
You don't
there.
have Nick Newman there.
So I'll read you the
was half-back?
back line for Carlton. The pockets: Silvani, McGovern, Wiedering. Halfback: Nick Haynes, Sard, Cowan.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me just put... That's going to change next week, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, you can't... Like, I love Cowan, but you got to play Doc over him. Haynes didn't have his best night tonight.
Yeah.
And McGovern probably didn't have his best night tonight either.
Yeah.
Doc, I would play over all those guys.
Yeah, especially against Hawthorn next week.
And for experience as well. For
He's
experience.
just a cool... He just doesn't get flustered. I don't know. I know he's a friend, but it's just not...
Because the flagman, I love blokes.
Flag mantle. Not enough free
Flag mantle,
kicks.
obviously,
We're on the
is
Carlton Football Club Facebook page here, guys, and we're just reading some comments.
That's had
well,
24
that's-
reactions.
So, there you go. Blues
There you have
win,
it.
Tigers... Sorry, Blues don't win. Blues lose to the Tigers 82-69.
You heard it here first.
Pretty crazy stuff. Anything else from you boys before we wrap up this pod?
Oh, just what a game for the young
Hey,
blokes.
you know what? Appreciate watching it with you guys.
No,
That's what friendship's
Is
about.
footy back?
Yeah, footy's,
Footy's
back.
back.
Footy's 100%
Footy's
back. From the
fucking
worst
back.
game of all time to
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
rattled me.
So
Good
good.
stuff, boys. Well
That's
done. Thanks,
unreal.
BWS. Thank you, KO. And thank you, Hotel Collingwood. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on the podcast feed. And we can't wait to see you next week. Hawthorn Blues. Let's go.
thanks guys for tuning in.